Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Syntax Sorcerer. Today, we're going to be going over Intro to Collections. We're going to do lists and dictionaries. And then maybe we'll do some arrays later. But for now, we're going to stick to these collections of lists and dictionaries. All right. So, I just want to preface these next probably 4 to 6 lessons are going to get a little bit more advanced. This is where we're starting to now push into, we've gone over like iterating loops, we've gone over sentinel, counter control loops, while statements, switch statements, do whiles, conditional and or operators, etc., etc. After we finish lists and arrays, we're going to start doing object-oriented programming. And I explained that in the beginning. Object-oriented programming is, well, it's very straightforward in the fact that we're going to, excuse me, I just had a little burp. In the fact that objects, we go over things like classes, objects, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, things like that. We do all these things, and that's technically object-oriented programming, right? And we've done a little bit of it before, but then we're gonna start going over like modularity, abstraction, flexibility, maintainability, and then do a lot of abstract programming, which is just like how you program real-world stuff into manageable like units of code. So that's just it. It is going to start picking up a little bit in difficulty. We've gone over some basics, and maybe I need to do like an even more basic breakdown, but I personally learn better by just doing, and so I'm trying to teach people the way I learn by just doing, so giving you guys these straightforward things. And with that being said, we're going to start with what is a list? All right, let me just move my mic real quick so you don't hear me breathing every 10 seconds. A list. A list is a ordered collection of items where each item has an index. Okay? One thing you need to know about lists are dynamic in size. What that means is you can add, remove, modify elements without specifying the size when we declare the list. The size when declaring. All right, so with that, you can access elements in the list by their index, and we'll go over what the index is in just a little bit here, but we're just going to explain what a list is and what a dictionary is, and then we'll go over that. That's going to bug me. Slightly out of line. No can do. You can access elements in the list by their index. Sorry, I'm running on fumes here, so you just gotta bear with me. It's like 8 o'clock at night already, and my brain does not function well after the gym, so lists are represented by the, and I'm just gonna write it out, list T, right? Class in C#, where T would represent some of the type of elements stored in the list. So kind of straightforward. Let's do an example real quick. So we would do like list, and then int, right? Let's pretend we're just looking for an integer, and then we'd be like numbers equal new list, capital L, because it's its own class, right? And then we don't need a close bracket with that. We do need, oops, int. Ugh. Sometimes autofilling works, sometimes it's butthole for us. We'll just go 5, right? Like 4 or 5, right? Whatever. So the list is represented by list t, right? So list int. This is our list t. Numbers is a new name for the new list, and the numbers are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Okay. It might seem a little confusing right now. It's not that bad. When we jump into the program, you're going to understand it pretty quickly. It's not nearly that hard. All right, so let's talk about what is a dictionary. Now, you might think, oh, well, a dictionary is a collection of specific words where each word is unique and they are given a definition. That is technically very close to what a dictionary is in C#. So it is a collection of key-value pairs where each key is, oops, sorry about that. Each key is unique, right? So the thing that's awesome about dictionaries, they are unordered. And you might be like, well, I want them ordered. Well, then you'd use a list. But here's why. So let's just go ahead, meaning the items are not stored in any specific order. So this is obviously, again, this is different from a list. They're stored in a specific order. You can, just like lists, access elements in a dictionary using their keys. Except in a list, it's by their index. All right. So dictionaries are represented in this way. So how I showed you how lists are represented in the code, dictionaries are represented by, you go dictionary, and then T key, and then you'd say T value. Some of you are like, what does that mean? Don't worry, guys. I tell you everything. And so far, nobody's left a comment, but I've seen a bunch of people watch the videos and get the snippet of code they need and then leave and don't say anything nice to me. So, you know, you're welcome. I hit my mic there. Don't bother me about it. So the dictionary use the T key and T value class in C#. So the T key, this specific part, represents the type of keys. Man, I can't type at all today. And T value represents the type of value. Okay. So some of you are going, wait, that's way more confusing than what you just said. Trust me. You're going to pick up fast, because what I'm going to do is we're going to write a program like we always do. And then on the next lesson, I'm going to do iterating through a list and then iterating through a dictionary on lessons 19 and 20. This is 18. And then we're going to move on, because you're going to have mastered it by then. You're going to be like, oh, yeah, I get it now. And then you're going to be able to work backwards and refer. So it would look something like dictionary and then string, right? And then we're going to say like int, sure, right? We don't need this bad boy. And we're going to say something like, we'll declare it like ages equals new dictionary. New dictionary. And then again, it would be string int, right? And then, by the way, you can just Control Z to get rid of that. I'm just being slow and lazy, apparently. We'll do something like Alice. And make sure we close that bracket, close that quotation mark. And we'll say Alice is 30. And then Make sure we put a comma here. We'll say Bob. Oops. Bob. And Bob is 25. And close that bracket, comma, and then Charles. Sure. I don't know how to spell Charles. Don't fight me on it, dude. It's fine. Oops. Quotation mark. Comma. And then we'll make Charles 30, 25, 35, sure. And then close that bracket and close the bracket. So let me just clarify how this looks. So you could argue this is going to look something like that, right? That's what it basically is. We're passing this information along. So we're saying dictionary. We're calling this, and we're saying it's called ages, and the new dictionary string int, and these are the strings, right? And these are the integers we're saying are stored inside of our dictionary. Besides that, let's talk about a little bit of the differences. Why am I explaining these to you? Why are we not just using an array? Valid questions all around. So everything in C# has a purpose, a place for everything and everything in its place. If you know, you know, right? So let's just go over some of the things. Listices are suitable when you need to store a collection of items in a specific order and access them by index, right? Okay. Dictionaries, on the other hand, dictionaries are suitable when you need to store key value pairs and access values quickly by using keys. Okay? This is going to start to make sense once we start to program this in, once we run a real program. And we're going to do it all in just one program because I'm going to do 2 different lessons about just lists and about just dictionaries. And we're going to do iterations through those. So what else can we talk about? Let's do one more about lists and one more about dictionaries. So lists are ideal for scenarios where you need to maintain the order of elements, such as storing a sequence. Wow, I can't spell sequence. Of numbers or names. Okay? Does that make sense? And then dictionaries are ideal for scenarios where you need to associate values with keys, such as storing information about what just happened right there. About people's ages using their using their names as keys. Is that starting to make more sense? I hope so, because it's actually not that hard. So, like, again, using their names as the key, like we're doing right here. All right, lists are suitable when you store a collection of items in a specific order. So if we need to store 1 through 1 billion, we can store that in a list, and we will get them in order, and we can access them by their index. I know that sounds like a lot. That's fine. It's okay. So before, we never had to add a new library in. So right now, I don't think this one's necessary. I think this one is actually, directive is unnecessary. That one is not necessary. But I don't know if this one is unnecessary right now. I'm getting the pop-up that you don't have to use this anymore. I'm going to leave this up here because basically we're calling collections, like I was saying, right? We're using system to call collections to call generic. And it's yelling at me saying using this directive is unnecessary. I'm just going to leave it up in case you're running an older version of Visual Studios. You'll need this. So if you don't have this and you're running like 2006, it's going to be like, whoa, buddy, I don't know what you're doing. The using system one that I just deleted, that's also, it says unnecessary, but again, you might be using one where you have to declare these things. As you, excuse me, as the language evolves, you don't have to do these things, but some of us are writing on older computers, older programs, and I'm not gonna complain that people are saving money by using a free version of Studio that they got for free from somebody else. So, more power to you. Drink your water, folks. Always drink your water. All right. So we're starting with collections. We're going to start in this one. Introduction to lists. And I added extra spaces. And I did a dumb guy thing. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to console.writeLine. Let's do introduction to lists. Okay, and we'll do that, right? And that, I'm gonna give myself some spaces. This is just bothering me. Okay. Oh, we're getting red squigglies. Are these causing errors for me? Console.writeLine does not exist in this current context. Let me try to control save and then run this. Huh. That's one I don't understand what's going on. I think I pissed something off. Let's go down to the errors here. Invalid token in. Wait, why we act like this? All right, a type must be expected. This is being really weird. I think adding those in might have pissed it off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna control save. I'm gonna restart. I will be right back. Out. Okay, so we're gonna cut and fix that. So just for my viewers watching, you guys are gonna be super mad at me, even though I never do this. I wrote all this out and realized OBS wasn't capturing my screen. So while I'm sitting here explaining everything, OBS has just got a black screen on. And so I'm going to cut that out because you're not going to want to sit there and be like, what's going on this whole time, obviously. So we're just going to go over it real quick, and then we're going to move on. So we're going to start with introduction to lists. We're just going to comment that. Console.writeLine, introduction to lists, boom, done. Then we're going to declare and initialize a list of integers. Right here, we're going to create a list of integers, call it number list. We're declaring it a new list of integers, right? Make sure you don't forget your brackets. Brackets, those are the other things. Can't remember what they're called. Brain is fogged up. Anyways, so right here, we're doing number list.add. It's exactly what you think. We're calling our numbers list, and we're adding the number 10, the number 20, 30, and 40 to that list, right? We're doing that each time. There's other ways you can do this. We're doing it this way this one time. Don't fight me on it, okay? I'm teaching you the slow newbie way. This is for beginners. Then the next thing is we're going to display the elements in the list. So displaying the elements in the list are, we're going to use a for each loop here. And this is going to be new to some of you. This is perfect time to learn how to use a for each loop. We're going to say int number in number list. And then we're going to print out number, right? So it knows that we're going to print out the integer, and we're calling that number in the number list. Perfect. Boom. You're caught up. You just didn't, unfortunately, you didn't see me type it. We were typing together. I messed up. It's on me. Sorry. When I restarted Visual Studio, I forgot to check my third monitor, look at OBS, and make sure everything was correct. That's on me. But we've gone over it. Take a second to pause if you need to. we're just gonna move on. Oh, also don't use those libraries. The using system and using system.collections.generic. That's what caused an error. I might have cut that out at the beginning. I don't know yet. But that's part of the problem. Just file, new project, do the same thing, copy the code without those 2 lines, and you'll be fine. All right, let's run it. Okay, introduction to lists. Elements in the list are 10, 20, 30, 40. Boom, perfect. Done, guys. That's it. Right? That's done. That's it. That is it, actually. To be fair, that is everything. Now, can you guess what we're going to do next? Yup, we're doing dictionaries. All right. We're going to say intro to dictionaries. Okay. And what are we going to do on there? Actually, we need to, I just realized we need to do for a new line, right? We need to add a new line because we got this in there. So we're going to add a new line. Boom. Remember, that's what that /n is. All right, so now we need to declare and initialize the dictionary. We're going to use a set of string keys and integer values. So I'm going to say that again. Declare and initialize a dictionary of string keys and integer values. I know that's going to seem like a lot for some of you. We're going to do it together, as we always do. So we're going to say dictionary. It's already got one ready for us. Dictionary. And we're going to use, let's say, well, we said string, comma, and an integer, right? We're going to call it ages and then dict for dictionary. It always helps to use something like that, like dict for dictionary, to let other people know, as well as yourself. Coming back to your code, you might be confused. To let yourself and other people know exactly what it is. All right. So we're going to say new dictionary string int. As you can see, it's auto-filling for me. String int, boom. That's perfect. Right? That is declaring and initializing a dictionary of string keys and integer values. So now we're going to add some stuff in there, right? All right. So let's say ages dict. We'll do .add and then Alicia keys 25, right? You guys get that? Alicia is the string key. You get it? If you don't get it, I'm going to be very upset. Why is it mad? Hold on. We'll get back to that in a second. Add key value pairs to the dictionary, right? So now we're going to do ages dict.add again. And we're going to say, oh, wait, that's probably why. I misplaced that. That fixes it. Look at that. I'm smart. Bob Ross. I don't know how old Bob Ross when he died. So we're just going to put 48 for now because we love Bob Ross. We stand Bob Ross here. So ages dict again dot add. And then we'll do Charlie Chaplin. Age 55, right? Because I don't know. Guys, I'm just making this up as I go. A lot of the time, I just write pseudocode in my notes, and then I'm just like, we're going to add that in now, and we're going to do this, and we're going to freaking change all the things. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to teach you on the most basic level, and I do rubber ducky programming, so like I think like it works. So I just want you guys to know I'm pretty great. All right. Anyways, we're going to accessing elements in the dictionary. So what does that mean? We're going to do console.writeLine, and we're going to say accessing elements in dictionary. Sometimes you guys might think this is like repetitive. It is, and it's not at the same time, because you can see this, but when we play the program, you can't see it twice, right? That will help in future stages. So then console.writeLine, we're going to say, whoops, I hit the button. Who's got the button? Alicia's age, and then we'll do like that, give it a space, and then we'll do plus ages dict, and then flat brackets, square brackets, whatever you want to call them. Alicia, we're going to use her as the key, and that should be perfect. So what we're doing right here is we're saying Alicia's age, and we're calling the key itself. We are saving her name, but her name is the key to get to her age, right? The string key. Because we're not storing these in any particular order. We're storing them so we can access by the key and then use the integer value. So we're saying, hey, what's the key? It's Alicia. What's her age? Her age is going to be, boom, what is the Alicia's age? I hope that makes sense. We're going to do the exact same thing, and we're just going to change it to Bob Ross. Bob Ross's age, space, and then plus, and then ages dict, and then bracket, oops, and it has to be the same or it will error out because it won't know what to look for. One more time, Charlie, we're just going to go Charlie's age. I don't feel like typing all that out, guys. I need way more caffeine than I have right now. Age is dict, square brackets, Charlie, and this one has to be spelled correctly. Chaplin, right? And then boom, and I forgot quotation marks in there. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be weird. Bam. All right. So let's save that for now, and then I think I've got an idea of something else I want to show you. All right, so our list thing was good. Obviously, we already knew that. Introduction to dictionaries, accessing elements in the dictionary. Alicia's age is 25. Bob Ross's age is 48. Charlie's age is 55. Perfect. Some of you are going to be like, well, if we store Alicia's name and the age, Bob Ross's name and the age, Charlie Chaplin and the age, why doesn't it show Alicia from there? Instead, we're typing it out down here. This is the key. This is like how you get into your apartment. This is the stuff inside of the apartment, if that makes sense. You need the key to get the 25 in the apartment, the $25 you left in your apartment. That's how you call that. So now we're just going to do one quick thing, and we're going to modify elements in a dictionary. And we're going to do this again later. But right now we're just going to kind of have a little fun with it, right? Ages dict. We'll say square brackets Bob Ross, right? And what do we want to do to Bob Ross? Let's make him, Bob is now 32. 32 curly brackets. Change Bob's age to 32 from 48, right? And then we're going to do console.writeLine. And then, go back. We need to do /n because we don't want them to print on the same line. And then we'll do Bob's age after modifications. That just sounds like Bob got tattoos and piercings and stuff, right? Age is dict. And then we're going to use the key to get into the house to access information on Bob Ross, right? The key to get into the house. Save, and we're going to run it. Control S, Control S, Control S. So Bob Ross's age 48 before, right? So you don't see the same as on my screen. We had Bob Ross's age set to 48. Bob's age after modification, 32. Bob de-aged. Bob's awesome, right? Bob Ross will never die in our hearts. All right, perfect. Okay, I know this one's a little bit longer, and I wanted to make them more bite-sized, so I'm sorry. Lists and dictionaries, if I do them in their own separate videos, still would have been like 15 minutes each. I just kind of wanted to knock them out together. But anyways, if you liked that, like, share, subscribe, comment, all the things. I'm not a social media guy. I don't know. Just help a small channel out. If you learned anything, please let me know. I really greatly like hearing if somebody understood something or whatnot. Anyways, I will see you guys in lesson 19 where we iterate through a dictionary.